What's up, guys?
Sup?
Whoa, welcome to another video.
This is Ghost Squad here.
Ghost Squad, motherfucker.
Your buddy Thad and our buddy Thickus.
Yeah! We're gonna hunt some ghost man.
Yeah, totally. And
Yeah,
this
totally.
one,
Tell them, totally tell
you're
them.
totally not
Yeah.
gonna believe this one.
Yeah.
So we are right here in this forest, and we are looking for
Haunted forest, motherfucker.
haunted motherfucking forest. We are looking for the ghost guitar.
Yeah, totally. This
Super
bro
creepy.
was totally like building a guitar like 12 months ago. He was totally making like his own guitar.
Yeah.
Like, super weird. And this weird dude, he like made a cursed guitar and it haunted him into the forest. Like he got trapped in like the woods. We're gonna go check it out. And like he's never been seen again.
No.
Totally.
There are only rumors, man. Only you know these aren't rumors because it's true. It's just that the government is covering up, and we're
like
gonna find out the truth.
Yeah, like totally the government, man.
Yeah. We're coming for him.
Whoa.
All right, we're looking for the ghost now.
Yeah, we've gone off the trail and we're like walking amongst the trees and we're totally like looking at them.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can like see the trees, but they're like totally here.
Yeah.
Like for example, this tree we have right here. Like that's totally like look at that tree. It's definitely like haunted tree.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, like just look how big it is. Like look at him, and then look all the way like to the sky, bro. Like totally. Like man, I'm getting some serious vibes.
Serious ghost vibes. You know, you can definitely see it. You know, I mean, maybe you.
Yeah, shit, man. Like totally everywhere there's ghosts. Like everywhere there's just like everything is a ghost, man.
Yeah, maybe you can't tell because you're not ghost experts like we are, but we can see it.
Yeah, we can totally see the ghosts, man. All right, we're gonna walk around a little bit more, and we're gonna like try to spot the place where he disappeared, and we're gonna be totally back. So like, like, check out those trees, man. Okay, guys, we've been looking around here in the forest, and it's kind of hard to find stuff, but we believe that we're getting closer and closer to where we need to be. What?
Did you hear that?
What? No. What? Here, take the camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check it out, bro. I'm totally gonna
okay. All right. Shit.
Here, man. Oh my God, like over here.
What? What? Thickus? Fuck. Thickus! What? Oh shit. Fuck. Okay. It's Alright guys. Thickus has been gone for like 12 minutes and I'm thinking that maybe the ghost got him, so we're gonna try to get out of here, I think, and I don't know where he might have gone off to. Maybe it's the fuck. I saw something. Shh. Okay guys, I definitely saw something there. It was it's totally spooky. Okay, so we're gonna try to slowly get out of here so the ghost won't see us. Alright guys, I rewatched the material. There's definitely some weird shit going on here. Now I've hidden myself. Everyone knows that ghosts can't see people that are hiding or something, and we're gonna try to keep Okay guys, we made it out of the forest. I'm almost home. I'm gonna call the police and we're gonna get Thickus out of there, okay? So just just hang on tight, and we'll solve this, right? Yeah. Alright guys, we made it back. Ha! Safe and sound. Now, I don't think we were gonna make it there for a while, but yeah, all shame about Thickus, but we're gonna call the police first thing in the morning, and we're gonna get this whole thing fixed, alright? So you just sit, what? No, what, oh, no!
In today's video, we are gonna carve this body here. We're gonna carve this body into a ghost guitar. Some of you might recognize this body. It was the body that I took the neck off of, and I scavenged all the parts. And the neck is gonna be for something else. But I was talking to Sean, which is one of you subscribers, and he gave me this really fun idea of building a ghost guitar. Then I thought that maybe I could do something fun. And so I had this idea that I would carve a ghost guitar, which I don't know what that is. I don't think anyone knows what that is, but we're going to do it to this body. It is a little bit rough. Some of you might remember that I had some issues when I took off the paint, if you've seen that video. And so we have some dings and dangs and jags and schwags. Swibbity swabbity wabbity babbity whack shabbity whap. I've turned into a Sims character. Anyway, there is a couple of things we have to do to the body before we can start carving into it, and so let's do those first, and then let's just see what happens, because I have actually no idea as of recording this what I'm going to do to it. What we need to do is we have to mark out some places where we're not allowed to do anything weird, because we obviously don't want to carve the body in a way where we can't put the guitar back together. I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to try to center it up around here, something like that, and I'm going to draw a line around it, and we could actually even use it to maybe go a little bit overboard. Make sure it doesn't do anything overly, something like that maybe. I'll do it to the other one as well. And the reason why I'm doing this, because some of you are probably like, can't you just avoid that? But that is because I needed to help me come up with what I'm gonna actually do. I don't want to design something that is a problem for me to carve, because then I'm like, oh, I need to redesign everything. And it will just become more and more of an issue. And the same thing goes for here. So I'm just going to put this here, and I'm going to try to line this up with the body. Something like that. And once we start carving, you'll understand more why I'm doing what I'm doing. Something like that. And I think I'm actually going to connect these two, a line like this. And the same thing will go for down here. We need to do some carving here. But the wood is really thin here, so if I do some weird carving in between here, I might get straight in to this cavity, because this cavity just has square sides, and so if I do some weird round over thing or something. So we need to transfer this to the other side so that we can think about that when we are designing the shape that we are doing. We need to take some measurements and transfer them. Caleb's perfect way of doing that. We can just make a measurement like this and transfer it to the other side. And we can do it a couple of times to hopefully get some sort of hang of where the body is. We don't necessarily have to be exact because we can oversize our cavity. So we have two measurements there. And we can put this there, like something like that. And now we have a rough estimation. And it just tells us that, like, if I start going in here, it's fine if I do, but I have to be very careful so that I don't go crazy and, like, take out a couple of mils here, you know. 1 mil or something is okay. We can actually measure. That's why this is such a great tool, because you can just hold it in like this in the hole and put it up to the edge of the inner side. And that lets you know that this is just 5 mils thick. So if we go any deeper within this, we're in trouble. Next, we have to do the same thing for this back plate here. And if you angle it a little bit like this, you can actually find straight lines, something like that maybe.
leaves a little bit of a lip around. And the next thing is to do this hole right here as well, but I don't have the plate that this guitar came with because it was gone, and I don't have a replacement on hand at the moment, so I'm just gonna mark out and go around a strange line that is basically the same thickness as the top and bottom, and put that on the side as well. Something like that. I don't know if you can see the two lines, but it's basically just so I know not to carve right there. Okay, so I have a couple of matches here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug up all these little holes that were for the pickguard. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I don't think I'm going to use the pickguard anymore, because I think I'm going to carve under here. And I think it's going to be easier to fill these holes now than once I've carved everything. So I'm just pressing in a little bit of wood glue and pressing in a matchstick. They are almost the right size, and with a little bit of extra force I can put them in. And then once you've pressed all of them in, you can just take a razor blade and try to get in as close as you can and chop them off. It doesn't have to be perfect at this stage because we're going to carve the entire top, but just try to cut it evenly and nice. Okay, so here's the body, and I've filled all the little holes for the pickguard, and I've drawn out where I'm not allowed to carve. And so now all I need to do is draw out a design of what I want to carve and think about it in a three-dimensional way. So like the lines that are going here will go here, and then I'll fill in the parts that need to be carved away and the things that are going to be left, so it's easy to see. So basically, once I'm done with that, we'll come back and take a look, and I'll explain sort of what's going to happen, but I need to first know what's going to happen because I have no idea. Whoa! Okay, so here's my design of the body, and it might look a little bit weird and wonky and super messy, but hopefully it's all gonna clean up once I get to the actual carving, which is what we're gonna do now. I got inspired by Tim Burton's Nightmares Before Christmas, so if you see the opening, there's ghost things floating by, so that's the sort of thing that I'm trying to emulate here. I'm also trying to give this a sense of meaningless direction, because when you sit down and play, I want the guitar to look good, but when it's hanging on the wall or something, I want it to look good as well. And ghosts, you know, they swirl around and woo, you know. My explanation of what ghosts are woo. Anyway, I'm gonna start carving now, and I'm gonna use gouges, and I'm just gonna chip away at the wood and try to get these things that I've drawn on the body to stick out a little bit. I don't know how deep in I'm gonna go. I probably should have thought of that a little bit more, but this is, you know, a fun experiment. It's not supposed to be too serious. So yeah, I'm just gonna start carving, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna start with this face right here. I'm gonna use different size gouges and just get rid of all the wood and make this stick out a little bit, and then we'll work on maybe making this pop or something. I don't really know. Yeah, let's just see what happens, and yeah. Ooh, ghost girl, when you're carving them. Okay, so I've carved a channel around everything that is the outside, and I've also marked it with a black Sharpie. And what I'm gonna do, because I need these parts to get down fairly deep to be able to carve everything else, is I'm just gonna take the router and go over and just chug away all of this super quickly, and hopefully it will go quick. So yes, let's do that. We're gonna go maybe 1/3 of the body or something. I have a line that you can't see, maybe you can see it. That is halfway. So we're gonna go, yeah, 1/3, I think. See you in a bit. So now I've done some carving with the router just to get some of all of this away, and I did a step thing here, which you might see. That's just because I'm thinking that I'm gonna carve this down a little bit more, so it's a little bit more comfortable up here. or at least as comfortable as it can be, because obviously we have this ghost here, and it's going to be sort of in the way for your arm, but I do want this to be playable, so yeah, I'm going to take a pause, actually, because I've got tired in my arm. Maybe I'm getting old and need a router that you don't have to hold the button down. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to do some cleaning up, and then I'm going to carve and just try to create a more three-dimensional thing, where everything is a little bit rounded over. And so I've cleaned up everything a little bit, and I think it looks nice, but it needs a lot more work. And I decided that I'm going to take my tiny little router that I've modded for inlay work and things like that. I think I've shown you this before a long time ago. It's very much a DIY project. You can see the whole hot glue things and everything. I'm going to use this because it was really good for cleaning up the edges and making them a little bit neater. I'm going to use that to cut out all the eyes and mouths and all these little marks that are on the body, because we have some like tears in the ghost and things like that I don't know if you can see them, but they are there. I'm first going to take a permanent marker and fill them in so that I don't do anything stupid, because maybe you saw that I did a little bit of a mistake down here where I started to cut away this, but it goes up in his arm, and I'm gonna figure out a way to fix that later. I'm not gonna worry about it now. I'm just gonna focus on doing what I need to do, which is, like, for example, this ghost has an arm that goes right here, up like that, and there's supposed to be nothing in the middle there. And so I'm gonna mark that out and cut it out, and I'm just gonna do all of them. So see you in a bit. I'm pretty much happy with the body the way it looks right now. I didn't route all of these things because it's too much. Now I need to clean some of these up, because if you look real closely, you will see that they're supposed to have a sharp edge right there, for example, but it's round right now, so I'm just going to go in with a chisel and a gouge and just try to make it look nice. So let's do that now, real quick. Okay, so everything looks good. Now I want to start doing a little bit of carving and things like that, just to make things look a little bit three-dimensional and not so flat. Like, for example, right here, I have this line here, and the idea is that this is further back than this. I start by scoring the line, just like so. And now I can start carving away some of this wood. And matching it up to that line, and that will give a sense of depth. And I'm gonna have to go back and forth between all the different parts a little bit, because I want to do roundovers and things like that as well. So when this gets rounded over, it's gonna take away wood, and this is gonna get even further down. So, yeah, I'm just gonna chop off some of this. Carving a ghost guitar, just so you know, just chipping away the wood, just so you know, there's nothing really to be said about it. Nothing really to say about it, and here it is. So, here's the body right now. I think it looks rather cool. I need to do some working on it now, because there is some rough areas around right up here, for example, and right here. I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna take a break and relax for a bit, think about it. Yeah. And I think I want to do some sort of belly carve here. I don't know. I'll have to think about that a little bit as well, because it is pretty thin here. I don't know if you can see that edge, but it might mess with things. So yeah, I'm gonna first I'm gonna take a break, because my hands are hurting a little bit. Not too bad, but anyway. And yeah, I need to just make sure I have a plan for the front of the guitar, and then I can do the back. I might carve away this so that the ghost sticks out and becomes the new shape of the horn, and we don't have this back full. I don't know. But I'll be back once I know what I want to do. So until then. Boo! Okay, so the body is here. And now I'm gonna paint it. I don't really think I'm gonna do anything more to it because I feel like I don't necessarily have to complicate things. We'll go over it later, but for now I'm just gonna paint it. And first I'm gonna put on sealer, and then I'm gonna paint the entire guitar black. And once I've done that, I'll be back, because I feel like that's basic things that I've shown you 100 times now, and I already have a video that goes into how to spray paint a body, so you don't necessarily need to see me do it here. But I'm gonna do something weird after I painted it black. So yeah, I'm gonna do that real quickly and leave it to dry for a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay, so here is the body now, and I've just put out some grey primer and I'm leaving it to dry. I put a red light on the side just to make it all look a little bit more spooky, because it's maybe not that interesting to see a grey painted body. But there it is, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I do see that there are some rough areas here and there that I don't think I'm going to be able to get out, but it adds a little bit to the whole carving thing that I'm going for. So hopefully you still think this looks cool and you still like it. And here we have the body after I've painted it black. I decided to go with just flat black and cover everything. And once it's dried, we're gonna do some other cool things to it, so don't think that it's done yet. And on the back I went with just plain black, but letting the grain of the wood be seen, so hopefully it makes it look more interesting and a little bit yeah, something. I don't know. I don't really know what to do with the back, and I also don't really know if I should have done some carving on it. Okay, so I have the body here, and I've put some masking tape on the edge. I put the tape on my leg and then pulled it off and put it on so that it wouldn't have that much of a grip. And now I'm coming in with some spray paint from the side, and I'm gonna dust it over the area like this. So you just saw me paint the guitar body and everything just went straight to hell. I don't know really what happened. There was some kind of chemical reaction between the paint and the clear coat. I don't really know what happened. There shouldn't have been something weird happening, because the paint and the clear coat was supposed to go together, but they just didn't go together. I think it was because I was using some cheap, nasty bullshit that I really shouldn't have been using. And I just, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just telling you because I'm gonna have to sand everything back and then repaint everything. So the next time you see the body, it will still look the same, but it will look slightly different, because that's just the way it is. Just telling you, because you're probably gonna notice and wonder why everything looks a little bit different. Okay, so here is the body now, and the lacquer is all dried, and I really like the way it looks. We're gonna sand it. We're gonna start off by using some steel wool to buff up and matte in all these areas in between, because I think that making those areas matte will make the top pop even more. I could be wrong, but I usually never am. So that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna go over to just sanding the body, and I think we're gonna start off with 800 wet and dry, and then walk our way up to 1200. I think that will be a nice place to stop. And then we're gonna do some hand buffing, because I want to keep it matte. I think we could buff it with a machine and get that really high gloss back after we've evened everything out, but I think just getting like a semi something, I forgot the word, god damn it, I prepared so much for this video and somehow I managed not to do anything correctly. But without rambling too much more, we're just gonna do this really quickly. It's gonna go super quick because I'm gonna speed up the video footage. don't know if you can see, but there are still some high spots. It's the shiny areas. We're trying to get everything matte. So we're not really there yet, but we are soon. So let's just keep on sanding and see what happens. I'm drying it off right now just so I can be able to see where I'm at, because it's a little bit hard sometimes when everything is wet. Okay, so now we just need to sand the sides as well. And just move through the grits and just basically go like this. All around. And for anyone who wants to know, I'm using a block that is a little bit rounded and that has foam on one side. So hopefully it's gonna help me. And I'm gonna do my best to try and not sand the front of the guitar, because we've already gone through the front of the guitar and we don't need to do it again. I'm just gonna clamp it between my legs. Yeah. But don't get any naughty ideas. Okay, so some buffing compound on the guitar, like so. Stroke it out with one hand like this. And trying to cover everything. Getting all messy on my hands. But that's okay, because I have a towel underneath. Then I'm just going to take some tissue and rub it. And I'm going to try to work up a nice semi-gloss. Whew. I really don't like doing this by hand, but I think it's going to be the best look for this guitar. Because, well, we can't use that because I dropped it, so we're going to have to take a new one. I think it's going to be the best look for this guitar, because it will make it look a little bit more old and a little bit less pristine. And yeah, and obviously if you wanted to, you could always buff it up to a nice perfection that you actually wanted. Whew. It might not look like it, but I am really focusing in on this and really trying to rub it down as hard as I can, because you want to create heat. You know, this is like trying to start a fire or something with your hands. You know, rubbing, instead of rubbing sticks together, you're rubbing your flesh together. That's why, if you've ever seen videos of people doing this in like factories, that's why you see them do it with a machine, because yeah, you're never gonna get a really high, nice gloss finish on something like this by, you know, rubbing your hands all over it. So, something like that, and now we take the new one, and we just go fucking crazy! Now we can take our towel, and we can do the very least to get rid of any excess. There we go. And then somewhat nice sheen to it. Okay, so here's the body now, and I'm pretty happy with it, but there are some small imperfections here and there, and it comes from the fact that this is, you know, an old guitar body. Not very old, but it has some dings and things like that that I wasn't able to get rid of. There's some small imperfections here and there, and so, because, you know, going with the theme, I think relicking the back will be a nice addition. I'm going to try to keep it on the light side where it isn't that much, and sort of a subtle thing. Just, you know, a couple of dings around here and a little bit of belt buckle and rashing around the sides. So let's do that, and hopefully you will agree with me that it looks cool and that it fits the rest of the guitar. Just trying to age it up a little bit. I'm going to try to avoid the front because I don't want to accidentally ruin the effect of the ghosts and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna just relic the back. Why am I showing you the front? And leave the front this way so that it just goes together and, you know, creates a story of some sort. So let's do that now. So here's the body now, and that's the front, I've already seen, and here's the back. And I really like it. I think it looks nice. It has a little bit of sheen to it, which I hope you can see. There's some dings and scratches that you can see, and then the edges are a little bit more dinged up. But it's not too much and it's not too bad, I think. I think it's just around the... yeah, it's basically what I wanted. And then a little bit of relic here and a little bit of a buckle rash right there. And so now we're gonna just make this area here where you can see a little bit of the wood. We're gonna make that wood a little bit, we're gonna darken that up a little bit. And first we're just gonna put down a little bit of vinegar with some rust in it. You've seen me do this before if you watched any of my other relic videos. And then we are gonna also muddy everything up a little bit with some lacquer stain. So yeah, let's just jump into it and see what it looks like and what happens to all these little dings right here. We just want to, you know, make them a little bit gross and things like that. Okay, so just gonna open my pre-made little tin here of some vinegar and rust and just dab a little bit on and just smear it around. Just a little bit more. I want to put on enough so I have something to work with, but not so much that it runs everywhere and, you know, I spill it everywhere. So I just want to work it in these areas here. And I'm using my fingers because I don't necessarily need to anything else. At least that's how I feel about it. And I haven't really looked carefully enough on these edges here. So I'm just gonna assume that maybe there is a little bit of wood showing through on some of them and that I want to maybe darken them up a little bit as well. So I'm just gonna go through this like this and just, you know, muddy everything up a little bit. Or not muddy it up, but grayish in it. And it will go fairly quickly. I don't know if you can see, but this has already started to turn a little bit. I'm gonna film this drying and just speed through it, I think, so that you get one long shot. Hopefully shows that, like, over the next 10 minutes something will happen. So while we wait for everything to dry, I'm just gonna take some lacquer stain paint in a little bit sloppy around all these cracks and dings, and just trying to get some interesting decoloration going. I'm just gonna sloppily with a brush go over the areas like this and just get some of the brownish dirty paint up in these areas to just dirty them up a little bit. You can put it on pretty thick and then you can wipe away the rest, create some interesting discoloration, wipe it off and go back and forth a little bit like this to just get that feeling that a little bit of dirt has gotten in all the little dings. And I'll do this with this brownish color that I'm using right now, but I'm also going to do it with a more yellowy one. So here's the body now. Yeah, it's not much to see right now because I need to do this a couple of times, just go over it, but it's going to be the end for today because it's getting kind of late and I need to do this one more time before I go to bed, but I'm not going to film that. Yeah, I'm going to do it a couple more times, just, you know, go in with just a little bit and dot it in ever so slightly all around. But now I'm just going to hang it to dry like so, and I'm going to go to bed. So, good night. Well, there you have it. It's done. It's finished. I just want to say thanks so much for watching. It's been a really long video, and yeah, it's a bit on the silly side at times, but I really do like to do these sort of carvings and things like that. It's not something that I necessarily like when it comes to my own guitars. I'm more of a classic design kind of guy. I like my guitars, you know, plain and boring maybe, but carving this was a lot of fun. If you liked it and if you would want to own it yourself, there's going to be a link in the description below to an auction so that you could pick it up yourself if you would like to own it, if you want it. And maybe you can do something cool with it, you know, make a neck for it and installing a pickup and all of that. And if you do, I would love to hear it, so please make a video where you demo the awesome guitar that you made out of this, so that I can make a video where I react to your playing and your video and share it with everyone else, because there's probably someone else out there, maybe, if there is anyone else who enjoyed this video, that would love to know what happened to that guitar. And I really like it when I have the opportunity to share what anyone else in this community is making and doing. So yes, if you are going to bid on this, please keep in mind that this is a beginner guitar body. It's not something that I've made. It's not made out of, you know, some special wood or anything like that. It's a basswood body, so please just keep that in mind, because I don't want this to get out of hands in some way. And if you don't like the design, I have some other bodies that I'm going to do other interesting and fun thing with. Hopefully, if you guys enjoyed this video and you think it's fun for me to make some weird crazy bodies, I was thinking that I would do other things. So give me comments and suggestions of types of guitars and themes. Like, for example, maybe cyberpunk jazzmaster or steampunk SG or whatever. If you have any fun ideas, let me know. And if you think it's a fun idea that I make these sorts of bodies and that I auction them off in the end, that's great. I feel like I'm starting to get the point where I make too much things and that it's piling up. So I would like to find a way to be able to be creative and build a bunch of things, because I think it's fun. But I don't necessarily need to own everything that I make, because yeah, I already have over 30 guitars. So if I'm gonna get another one, it needs to be something that adds to that collection. And the same thing will later go into pedals, because I'm getting to a point where I feel like I have a lot of pedals. And I don't necessarily need to own everything I make. But if you got inspired by this, that's super cool. And I really love to hear about that in the comments below as well. So go and carve something like this. That would be amazing if you did. You can go as, you know, crazy as you want to, or you can do something that is, you know, more easy. You know, sometimes a plain, simple design like this guitar that I just made, that could go a long way. I think that this looks really cool, and I'm really happy about it. So yeah, do something like that. Until next time, stay awesome and cool, and go and do some wood carving, because it's a lot of fun. It can take a lot of time, but it's time spent enjoying something amazing, so it's worth it. Okay? Bye bye.